Yeah, welcome very much to the first afternoon session here in the operations part. Today we are talking about how customers manage their application performance from an end-user perspective. I have here Michael Tüstrup with me from Salling. He's also presenting some parts. Okay, let's start. I give a first short motivation about real user monitoring and performance monitoring. Then I will hand over to Michael and then showing new features we delivered in the last quarter and an outlook. So what is actually the business needs from real user monitoring in SAP Cloud ALM? So the user satisfaction is really key, that we and the customer knows what the users are executing, how often they are executing, and what is the response time for them. How we achieve this? We measure and capture different metrics and response times and error statuses from the different systems. This is then collected and visualized to the end user. And our vision is that not only reactively the administrator or business user is looking at it, but that also with machine learning or AI, it is automatically detected and the user is notified. So as said before, we have different sources where we collect data from. The most important one for end users is the browser or the mobile device. This can either be a laptop, a mobile phone, or an RF gun from a warehouse management. We have several cloud services where we can select data from, or on-premise systems. These data are then collected, displayed in real user monitoring or sent to real user monitoring where the user can display this, and then he sees which applications are most used, and also very important is what is the response time for the end user, not only measured here in the backend system or in the cloud service, but from the device here. Do you see this or no? So here in the device itself, the time is measured. This is typically a huge benefit because in the past, when someone or an end user is complaining about the performance, administrator is looking in the system and sees nothing. Everything is fast from the backend side, but it might be related to the end user's device or the network or whatever. Good. We use here an old technology, the SAP Passport, also known from the end-to-end race or from further applications in the past. And with that, we can correlate then and see exactly which service is calling another service and how these two services are correlated or depends on each other, and can visualize this then. Good. Now, Michael, it's yours.
Sure. Thank you for letting me present. That was rather nice, actually. So, first of all, the main focus is real user monitoring. And I'll start off by introducing myself very shortly. The intent about this slide is that monitoring is a small part of my daily life, but it is actually my left leg, as I call it. If you're not doing monitoring orderly, you are unstable. You actually cannot walk orderly. And it's not only yourself, it's the whole organization. System down, war rooms, reporting to managers and so forth. So for me, I keep all my work equally important. So monitoring has a high position in my mind to keep systems stable and perform orderly. We have been doing so the last 12 years. Salling Group is a Danish retailer, and the heart of Salling Group is that we do things orderly and proactively. So we are very pragmatic also. You will see Salling Group moving forward rapidly with different approaches. Some are failing, but some are succeeding very well. So having Salling started up in Føtex, building big hypermarkets, discount stores, and so forth. The mindset of Herman Salling is that you have to have your own decision making. He dislikes meetings because it illustrates the lack of decision making. So, and that's the nature of Salling Group. I like it very much. Here we have some numbers about our hypermarket, our Føtex high quality, medium sites, and then of course the discount stores. That is our milking cow. Here with cash cows, we earn quite a lot in this area. We are also acquiring quite a lot. We acquired Tesco stores 2 years ago, and we acquired a lot of Remy stores. The history behind this is the IT organization has a big say in earning money. We have built this one client system setup where we easily roll out to new stores and countries. We are up and running within 3 to 4 months and then earning money. The business case with Tesco was that they could not earn money, and that indeed we can in Salling Group. Yes, before actually heading on to explaining the real user monitoring, I would like some intermezzo here explaining what we have done so far and where we are and where we are heading. We did the Run SAP Like a Factory implementation 10 years ago. Very ambitious, very big. And we are running our systems very well. We are among, we are number 1 in Northern Europe in impact minutes. I'm personally very proud of this. But this does not come by itself. You need to have a keen eye on monitoring. Let people work. It does not come by itself. You need to adjust all the time. And we also build up quite a lot of focused insights in Solution Manager. Actually, a key point for us to move to Cloud ALM somehow. I don't even know how, but it's very important for us. We keep track of the most important metrics in Focused Insight, and we would like to make that build and actually copy it somehow to the Cloud ALM. Yes. Okay, that was a small story behind it. The real user monitoring we are using in Salling Group mostly as an ad hoc tool. Our systems are well run. We have some. Yeah, let me recap a little bit here. Actually, to be honest, we are moving to SAP RISE, and there is some uneasiness in our organization. We have on-prem systems moved to SAP RISE, and there is some uneasiness if we actually have the same stability moving to SAP RISE. So, and that enhances our eagerness for actually getting the Cloud ALM up and running for all areas. Good. Real user monitoring we use actually for all 3 systems in the system landscape, meaning development, quality, and production. On the development system, it's primarily key developers that are checking the system. Sometimes they mess up, and they can easily by themselves dive into the system and see what is going on. That is quite handy. And for the quality system itself, it's more if something goes wrong. We have test automation. Everything is running very automatic. But sometimes the systems are drained. Some wrong imports are coming in and so forth. This we easily identify in real user monitoring. For the production system itself, it's more ad hoc. Here, if some issues are troubling us, here we use that tool quite well. I must say it impresses me the easiness of using the real user monitoring tool. We adore it quite a lot in Salling Group. The first screen here is focusing on transactions. The intention of showing you this is if an end user is stating there's a transaction running very poorly, we can easily identify it here. And I'm sorry to say I cannot show it. We have a well-run production system, but the intention is if end users reach out to us, we can easily follow and track it. And here it's more analysis where we actually, to be honest, more we don't know actually what is going on, and we analyze from this perspective. And the next one actually is rather handy because here you can see in the bottom that we can check which operating systems, which browsers are being used, and so forth. Quite handy when you're discussing with the end users, because even a slight diversion in the Edge version can make a difference. And we are rolling out Windows 11, and we can easily track who is not doing what they are told to do. So I like it very much. Again, I like real user monitoring, easy to use, straight out of the box. Here, the intention about this is real user monitoring when issue solving. And the intention by this slide is showing we're looking for patterns. Every time you're diving into issues, you're looking for patterns. That's key monitoring-wise. If you see the pattern, you can understand what's going on. We have found quite a lot of issues in that overview. It's just expanding, isolating, diving into it. It is key for monitoring. And here, if it's dialogue processes or anything, here again, well-run system, there's nothing much to it. But if there are issues, it will showcase itself easily in these overviews. Yes, you are seeing a well-run S4 system. We have a big 32 terabyte S4. It's extremely powerful. We actually needed to tame the beast during our go live. But extremely powerful. A small history around it is that we adore keeping our systems extremely well run. We go for the best because you avoid so many problems by doing that. It can cost a little bit more, but it's worthwhile. We have tried all the way, media core systems, so forth. It's a waste of time. Keep it top notch. It will save a lot of time and money for you. Yes, and here we are back to real user monitoring, and here we have a small storyline here, where we identify some issues. We are diving into it. It is actually not in our ECC, but in our solution manager system. Our charm stopped working, and that is a no-go. It's automatically P2 in Salling Group. And we had a hard time actually understanding it in the start, but when entering the real user monitoring, identifying what was causing it, we could identify that it was actually debugging, that we had started but forgot to close down. A silly thing, but easily detected via real user monitoring. Yes. And this aspect, we in our SAP infrastructure department adore, because our network department is sometimes pushing hard, making changes. And if something goes wrong, we can easily identify it here. Normally we have this, let's call it a funny story about, is it network or is it the system who owns the problem? Here we automatically can see who owns the problem. So that's it. Yes, that was it from my side.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. Now let me show you now 2 additional features that are introduced in the last quarter or last half year. One is the change point detection. So this was already announced last year, or probably also shown. With real user monitoring or with user monitoring, it's quite difficult to use here AI functions or automatic detection. The reason is the response times sometimes deviate very much, and the other one is that we have sometimes huge gaps between different executions. Sure, users are not working in the night, and you do not have in all locations users working 24 hours. So with these facts, with the gaps and also the deviation, it was also known at the beginning that it's not easy to provide here an alerting. That was the reason why it took so long. If you would make it easy or simple and just put a static threshold, then you would see here all executions or response times which are above these thresholds would lead then to a red execution and probably an alert. And this is something nobody wants to have. You would be flooded with false positives or useless alerts. As shown here. So actually what we want to achieve now is that we automatically determine in the system or detect which applications are most used by the users, and not each request is valid for a change point detection. There must be at least a minimum amount of executions that we can say, okay, this is relevant or not. And then based on these request names that are detected in this learning phase, we detect then significant and consistent changes in the response time during result almost immediately when this occurs. We use here machine learning with HANA PAL libraries to detect this online. And there's nothing the customer or the user needs to train, or everything has started immediately and implicitly in the background. And what took also some time is to decide when a change point that is detected, if this is consistent or not. Otherwise, it could happen that you have too many false positive change points. Okay, back to our distribution of response times. We need some executions to decide then, okay, this change point is now consistent, and also then later on some time to say, okay, this change point is still available or durable at that time. The effect is that not even when a change point is detected, we immediately can send out an alert or notify this, but we have here a small delay, depending on how often such a request is executed. Okay, this is how it looks like, but maybe I show you this directly in the system. Okay, this is our application, real user monitoring. I have here several systems in my scope. And here on the left-hand side in the navigation, if we open here this tile, we see you have a dedicated page for change points. Let me open that. I collapsed it. And we see now here, we have here a microservice or BTP application with the name S-Flight service. This has been executed more than 10,000 times in this time range, which is from today. And we have detected one change point. It was here around this time. And if we now drill down into that, we see then the request name or the application that has been executed and lead to this change point. So it was this batch request for this analytics endpoint, an HTTPS request. And here we see now the response times and also that the response time increased. And by moving here this window over this time range, we can drill down and see here on top the response times that is used by the model to decide if a change point is relevant or not, or should be detected. And below we display the response times that we measure, or the almost the raw data of the executions from the different executions and the response times. And here you see then the response time increased it here dramatically. It stayed for some time and then it fall down again. By clicking on this, we see then also some metadata information, for example, when the first change this change point interval has been started and when it was actually detected, what was the action for that request, how many users have been affected, and from here we can then also simply drill down or jump into this different requests here. We see there were a lot of, as also seen before, and some of them are taking more than 60 seconds. By selecting now one, we can display here the details. You see here the username who actually caused this response time. What was the response time here in that for that batch request? So it was 62 seconds. And 60 seconds were caused here in that application. These are 96%. This request had 5 external calls, so outgoing calls to something else. We see this, for example, here to an HTTP call, but these are not the performance drivers. The performance driver is really here now here in that component. If this would be a database issue or an expensive database request, we would see it also here as the SQL statement, or here in the database time. But here it's really CPU time, and for that, here in this case it is a BTP application. We can then jump here into the cloud logging service and can see then here in cloud logging, not the vertical trace, but not the horizontal, but here the drill down here. What's that? In which class or method the most of the time was spent. Good. This is the change point itself. What we now ship, hopefully next week, is that someone also can configure that for different requests an alert is created, and this looks like then timed out. That way that we have here in the alert inbox such an entry that we have here an alert for a change point, and we see we visualize then here also from which response time the request had before the change point has been detected and after that, when it happened and how long, and from here so the request name and how many users are affected. And from here we can also then jump into the change point detection application as we shown before and doing again the same analysis. So this is this new functionality what we provide next week. Good, let's go back to the presentation. This is what I showed, the drill down. And also quite new, available since few weeks, is the exception monitoring. So in Focused Run, we had this already since beginning, that we can visualize or display not only response times, but also exceptions in the UI. Now we have this also in SAP Cloud ALM. We have a new page. Maybe I show you this also in the... Come on. In another tenant. Perfect. So here, for the same systems I have in scope, we display different categories: ABAP runtime errors, web service provider, web service consumer, and OData problems for ABAP systems. For Java and Node.js applications in BTP, we read the log entries. And for SAP Analytics Cloud, there's also something available. So this is, for those of you who know integration monitoring and exception monitoring, the same UI. This is a reused component. We just limit it to the end-user related exceptions here in real user monitoring. And what we also have introduced, if we have here, if you detect an error in our real user monitoring application, I mean, where is it? Hello. Doesn't work. Then we can jump in from the from our UI. So this is then here marked with such an icon. Mouse pointer is gone. So with such an icon, and also the error message is displayed here immediately in this box, and we can then jump from here into integration into this exception, in this dedicated exception. And the most relevant part is actually, I think, for the developers or for the one who is analyzing that, the call stack. I can show you this here. If we display here such a runtime error, probably not this one, but let's take this. This one, yeah, because not what we measure here from real user monitoring is always the entrance, but that's not always the occurrence where the exception happens. So it could be somewhere else deeper in the stack where the exception occurred, but you could figure out this here then in the exception monitoring itself. Good. This I showed you. Okay, short outlook regarding what we plan to deliver. So we permanently ship new content for different supported cloud LOBs. One is the advanced commodity for risk analytics. There are also others probably coming in Q4. And one of the most interesting one is, which come hopefully beginning of next year, is SAP Digital Manufacturing Cloud. and also other smaller things. And for the features, we deliver, as I said before, the change point alerting and permanently improve it and the usability of the change points or for the whole application. And what we also plan is a kind of a change point explainer, because it's not always visible or self-explainable why a change point occurred at this time. And we also want to provide this AI-based to do any performance analysis. Here I also can encourage you, tomorrow there's a design thing or a session in the afternoon where we want to discuss with you, customers or colleagues, what you need to improve the assisted performance analysis from real user monitoring perspective. What is missing? What do you wish? Or else, I mean, we got a lot of feedback via these influence requests, but sometimes, you also have good ideas here. Good. So the key takeaways. You learned now benefit of this automatic change point detection and how to navigate it for drill down and analysis. And in the exception monitoring, you also get insights here. If you have questions or answers, you can ask either me or also Patrick, which is here in the room, or probably we see us then here in the next days. Okay, then I will go down. Thanks. Thank you very much.